This is a somewhat unscripted introspective on some of the hellish cities I built in City Skylines over the years. Um, this first one is from the last save was from the start of 2019, but it's a bit older than that. Don't believe I was really using any mods for this. Obviously, some of the newer DLC for the game will make some improvements, but yeah, it's just on reflection, just not a great place. And if it ever loads, I'll show you why. We'll start this by looking at which tiles I've bought. I think that would be a reasonable place to start. The game starts you in this central tile. I then, fairly sure I bought this tile, followed by this tile, and then that tile. I've made a bit of a plus here. Don't remember why. But let's jump back into this individually. So the start, the motorway or highway, as friends of America might call it. I've put this great big, oversized, roundabout-ish thing. Um, it's too big. It's not even circular. No idea. Just don't know. But this divides the city into sort of three areas and developmental areas as well, and the sort of the history of where I was building comes into play. We've got a sort of an industrial area jammed in on the side of the mountain with its own problems. A rail line that I've like retroactively added in. This main drag that sort of comes through our commercial zone. You can see the bit of high density housing, but again, it's just we've got gaps, and this goes on and on. A large residential area on the side of the hill here, which main crime is these insane road lengths. Very little connectivity between the two roads, and then no connectivity to this road, which kind of acts almost like a bypass for this whole area. Got another thing over here, again, almost no connectivity between these two places. Very little parks, green space. We've got a bit of pedestrianisation, and then sort of these clumps of commercial with little mixed use, a sort of forestry industry with, again, maybe housing for that district, but you're divided by this great big road. I haven't even put up a, pedestrian bridge for the station. Everyone has to use this one crossing here. Oversized roundabout, and it just keeps going. Moving back to this area, I've got this bizarre commercial office block with this diamond. What's that about? Who knows? Using that ultra large station here. I think my plan was to have a lot of trains here. I like trains. I like heavy rail. It's cool, but I don't know what I was thinking with this really. Coming down, we've got more of this sort of downtown quote unquote area. The disaster response unit is in the middle of it. Got this weird square roundabout, and yeah, just solid commercial. Some offices here dividing up what is very much a housing estate, sort of row housing, you might call this. You see this a lot, sort of in the UK. It's predominantly sort of Victorian era, long rows, of houses normally back to back, but I've put in a little street, alleyway. These two collectors at odd angles, not really efficient land use, and it's all ringed by this great big urban highway, which rings this sort of farming zone I crammed in here, and this rail line, and these as well. This was just a regular city park, and then it burnt down, and then I put a zoo here. I mean, that's kind of nice, but it's just a bit off. You've got very little way of getting to it from here. All this dead land, no way of getting it to it from here. No connectivity between these areas. And then again, look, huge sort of residential districts, huge commercial. They are miles apart. There is no real easy way to say go from here to here. You have to follow this route. You're using these streets that then connect into Well, a massive arterial roundabout. Actually, there's no pavement here, so that's even worse. These two streets coming in at some weird angles, and then a collector that kind of takes you over there with a collector down the middle and one kind of wrapping its way. I don't know why I went like that. Why not just curve? Nice curve. And then again, this continues. This purely commercial area. I mean, I try to do something here with the this, but it's just not good. And then again, another massive residential block. We've got a collector running through the middle with some streets coming off it. I don't particularly think this is awful, apart from again the lack of mixed use. There's no shops here. You can't just go to your local shop. There's no green space here. So yeah, my road pattern I think's okay, but the rest of it is shockingly poor. Actually, maybe I should define some more. Well, that's kind of acting like a bit of a those two kind of act like a collector. That one's kind of yeah. Well, maybe it could be improved. And then yeah, I've got these retroactively fitted in stations, and because I didn't have the creator pack that would have let me have the elevated stations like I do now. Obviously, you got these crazy descents for the trains, just absolute insanity. So yeah, it's just this would be quite an awful place to live. You're very disconnected from where you need to go. You have these great big roads dividing you up. You've got these crazy over-engineered like step up, step downs. I know why I did this, because in the vanilla game you can't just put in a zebra crossing there because it's not a junction, but a reasonable fix might have been to apply a road like this, and it's not quite in line, but it would have got the job done, you know, it would have made sense. And then I didn't replicate it on this side, so I just stuck that in for no reason. I mean, you can see it's utilized, but it's over engineered, and I think that's a lot of the themes. This is again kind of over engineered, I think, but it's pretty common in my builds. It serves a definite purpose, so I'm going to leave it. But yeah, just a lot of wacky stuff, especially this massive great bypass that is just not used by anyone. Kind of a weird little junction here. I'm quite kind of happy with this in a way. I think this is kind of nice, apart from again the insane length of some of these roads, and the lack of green space. I think I tried something a bit new here, and it kind of worked. You know, we got some steep cliffs, sure, but I think my premise here was sound. What is also insane is I put the motorway under the ground. I just buried it. I mean, that must have caused a huge amount of money, and because obviously the tiling, I suddenly went, yep, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go right angle, continue. That's horrendous. I should have, yeah, I think I should have kept that above ground, had it go on ground level. Ideally, it would have connected nicely with there, but I basically needed the top half of the tile, not the bottom half. But yeah, that's just that was a bad move. So yeah, this is, yeah, not good. Traffic flow 74%. You can see the red's where it's expected. This wacky system, which again is, at the time my thinking was, okay, so I know it's gonna come out. I give it dedicated lane, and then yeah, but it's because I'm funneling everyone into here. It then adds to the traffic. So this system needs more connectivity with other systems. It doesn't have it because it's just sort of stuck in on the side of the mountain. Really, I should be looking at moving this whole rail line over, expanding this out, making sure it actually connects to some other places. Probably down to this if I keep it. Here again, I guess we're just forcing so many people to use this. Why is this not a connection? I've got a pedestrian one, sure, but people are going to use their car, so this should be a connection. I've got no connectivity here as well. Why aren't I connecting these? No connectivity with this. the rail line gets in the way. But that's no real excuse. It could have a at-grade crossing here. You know, I've got one little road connecting two very big areas. So yeah, all the traffic is where you'd expect it to be, where I'm forcing people to make a lot of movements that are odd. This I'm a bit like about. I'd want people to basically go up here and around there, but this causes a lot of traffic through here. Maybe I should just eminent domain bulldoze a road across, an extra bridge. I'd collect directly into this. That might alleviate the traffic. Or, because that's a bit far away and I don't want to add in another junction there. Yeah, what's with this collector here for just... Where's that going? Who's that moving? It doesn't connect to any of this. Just absolute madness. So yeah, it's quite a lot. That's 10 minutes of me rambling about this. I'm going to cut here and I'm going to try and show an improvement on this. Maybe. So the first thing I've done here is change this roundabout. I don't know if this is better yet, but I've changed it. So instead we've got more of a sweeping connection into these roads on each side. The highways kind of merge here and then join like that. It would be good if obviously I could change that so it's not a turnaround road, but you know, you live within the confines of the game. This is a bit of a long stretch. Again, it's not great, but we've got some land here that we can maybe do something with. Maybe put in a little road that goes across here. This, I might have broken a bus route, but I don't care so much. I've changed it so this actually connects up to this little road here. I've pushed through more connectivity along here, a bit of eminent domain, bulldoze some houses, but we're starting to add these neighbourhoods together. Hopefully this works alright. I mean, it seems like people are using it. I mean, there's a bit of slowdown here, that's quite a sharp angle. Maybe I need to change this a little bit. Seems to be working at the moment though. I think realistically though, obviously I would have a lower speed on this whole section. I'd also have in, you know, better lane management. Maybe I could do some quick lane maths here. So what is, obviously that's a short queuing length, that's the issue there, and then the way the game handles it, that's not actually a place it can queue, which is unfortunate. A little bit of lane maths there. I think it's kind of working, but not really. Maybe I might need to push this road back, actually do a connection there. It's going to mess with a bus route probably. Or I just need to look at reducing the traffic along this route in general. So looking at connectivity here, I can kind of see why I didn't have it in the first place. If we go to the topography group view. Look at the height differences here is crazy. So putting a road in is probably going to be extra bizarre, but I might look at doing one anyway, maybe about here. Annoying thing is as well this tearing between the two. Only solution for this would be to move this whole road over, which could do. But again, it's kind of, I'm fixing something in a quite an unrealistic manner, but then again, some grading might be worth doing. So I did redo this. It's looking a bit nicer. It's a bit more of a smooth slopes down. Sorry about the tearing before, but it's a bit better. It's a bit more practical. This is a pretty steep incline though. You wouldn't really want industrial traffic using it. I think that's It's a bit of incline, but it's a little bit better at the top. I'm thinking this probably could worth teeing into it. Maybe this one. But I don't want it too close to that, I suppose. But again, I've got this long cul-de-sac, one connection. I'm funneling all the traffic into there, and maybe it's a symptom more of the terrain here. But yeah, this is not good. You know, these are completely disconnected. No pedestrian connectivity in there. I didn't even notice that earlier. So yeah, quite a few houses might be being bulldozed to have new roads put in. I did add this little one in here as well. So I've made a couple of little connections here and there. Also put in this connection, changed this around a little bit. I'm just looking at how would you get from A to B, and we are still funneling a lot of traffic onto this road, a lot of traffic onto, say, this connection here. So hopefully some of those add in the opportunity for people to not use this road. But then there's cases like this. Yes, it's a nice house, but why am I not connecting here? Why have I not got a road that, you know, clips the corner here? Why have I not got a road that connects these two areas up, or even a pedestrian connection? So the first one I'm going to do is, can I do that without a house being destroyed? No. Can I do that without a house being destroyed? No. Is there an impossible angle that I could take where I can use a bit of city land, state land, so I don't have to do a compulsory purchase? No, which is annoying, because I think over here I could do it, but then it's just a weird angle. We'll try it. Well, we did it. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't cause that house to despawn, because I was quite careful there. But yeah, okay, so that's another one there then. One thing as well is around the back here. So if you lived in this house here and you wanted to go to the Tropical Gardens even, or shopping here, you have to go to that road. You have to use this main road, and then you have to junction here. So why have I not just made these two connect around the back? You know, it's a little ratway. It's a little thing that the locals know about. You know, that to get them from A to B. I think that's a fairly nice connection. Got a few lumpies and bumpies. Possible case of some rework here, but I think it's just because I stuck this mall thing in here without properly leveling the pad. So I might fix that at some other point. So what I'm actually thinking here is changing this to be a T-junction. The main movement would be to these two roads. I don't really feel like many people will be going here, so I'm just going to tee this off and then put in maybe another junction, so that this route doesn't come completely redundant, but I want to connect these two areas up and move this somewhere out the way. So I'll just do that now. And I completely lost what I was doing. Right, let's get on to this. That was annoying. Didn't want to take that building out. So this, I think, will continue along here, and then I think about here is about right, and then it will connect pretty nicely to that. That will merge into that. And another one across here, trying to use up some of this land. And then finally, so that's why I did a path, because I put the train comically low to the ground. Huh. Okay, I might rework all of that. It seems ludicrous that if I'm making it go over here, I have it come so low to the ground to start with, but okay. So I reworked this area a little bit. The train line now goes higher the whole way. I need to reconnect this pedestrian path, but I think I'm going to do something here. Obviously that angle's not quite right with the damn pillar. I've put this in, debating this. I've moved this across, so these are in line. I've added in 2 extra junctions here, and then I've put this here. I think I need to break this up again. I'm not too sure where. And then, yeah, I've not been the most efficient maybe with my uses here. But I'm thinking maybe this will be a little core of sort of residential. Maybe we'll put some offices along here. There's like a sound barrier, because again the game complains if people live near shops for some reason because it's loud. Yeah, and I think it's starting to come along. So this is again kind of a bizarre thing. I'm not sure what I was doing. I threw this road in just to make sure that had connection. I'm not even running the game, but if I did, so people could get places. Where was this collector going? It was just kind of joining up here, and then I stepped up this massively just to go over the train line, and then I drop it down again and have this other road go over it. Now I get why I stepped it down from this height, perhaps to make sure that, you know, there's a quick descend, ascend, but to stick this over the top, why? It's just weird. Because if it was at ground level, I could make a few more connections with some of these other roads, and I think, again, I have this huge roundabout for no real reason, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put here instead. I want to make sure that this road connects, but connects to what? This line? Is this the main line, and then these other roads could sort of cross into it? Do they run in parallel, and there's a small roundabout in the middle? I don't know. Okay, so this is possibly the bigger change I made. I scrapped the whole roundabout idea, and I just having them connect straight into this road here. This is primarily an arterial between these 2 stretches, apart from this one little road I added in because I couldn't quite squeeze it into the roundabout here. Maybe I should look at rearranging the whole school, put it this side, have that ting in. I don't know. But this is now on the ground, and it allows me, of course, to add in a bit more connectivity. I've changed it so there's no road here, but you do have some roads that nip under this, connecting here, and then I thought, I've got a bit of green space down the middle, might as well put a road there. I think this is an improvement. I think my next look is, again, I mean, what is it with this? Like, I might leave it as it is instead of curving it, because I think there's going to be a leg in the way. But again, you know, what's happening over here? Got this roundabout, and I thought I'd just do a crossroad here. This wasn't seeing that much traffic. This is seeing quite a bit of traffic because it's basically the only way into anything. But I'm thinking, let's add in another connection here. Let's change this a little bit. Yeah, I think this is starting to move forward, starting to be better. Okay, so we're looking at the train view here, which is the relevant change, big change. Reorganize the line so it follows the road very nicely. I've gone with this over elevated station because it had the smallest footprint. I've just kind of shoved it in there. I haven't reconnected the pedestrian bridge, which you can see is very important. I've changed this, haven't reconnected it, so it goes overground, round the back, links up here. Not the best, but it's better than this tunnel it was doing before. this thing goes through the station and back here. Reconfigured this a little bit, added in some extra connections, and then on this side again, reconfigured it a little bit. I've done this in this order, even though that's kind of the natural line I was doing it, because then the train lines come in the station 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I can change them, but I just did it like that. Probably best changing them. I've sloped this. This is probably still too steep for a train, but it was better than what it was. And I put some trees in here. I've used the zoo fence because it looks kind of attractive. Again, just kind of screen these people from the train that's now a bit closer to them. A little bit of a sound barrier, but yeah, I imagine that no normal train is going to do this, especially with that kind of curve in it. I can just see the train going whoop off there, over the other line, and just down into this valley place. But yeah, that's the next kind of major change. Debating whether to elevate this, but I think this should be closer to this. I just don't think it makes that much sense that these are so close together. So I've continued my upgrade of sort of the downtown area here. Just reconfigured this, new station, updated this, stuck them all in here, redid this bridge a little bit so it's not as dramatically as high. And then I created what I think is kind of nice, sort of canal-like effect using the sea walls here, pedestrian bridge, a little kooky bridge here, and I've got a second bridge here, might not be needed. And what I'm just sort of looking at here is maybe a sort of a government kind of campus thing. You know, get the tax office in here and the oppression office. I never have the courthouse. I've never unlocked the courthouse because my crime's never bad. And I think there's another government facility. I'm sure there is. Okay, so you got the old school kind of city hall, which I mean we might add in, but again, it can only really fit in one or two places. It's a little bit out of place, but I think we'll do it anyway. I suppose maybe the thinking is, oh, you know, we wanted a classical building, so you got your sort of city hall here. Oh yeah, there was a hill here that I blew up. You know, city hall, your tax office, and then the more modern oppressive office, which I always assumed it was some sort of government function in the oppressive office, like it was the office of oppression, you know, sort of Stasi, NKVD kind of thing. Could be wrong on that. And I think, yeah, everything else is kind of massive. Yeah, I think that'll do for this kind of little. I'll add a park in, but this is kind of like centre of government, and I added in this, the biggest tower in the game. I think it makes sense here. We'll have to just grow the density around it. Okay, so I found the other building. There it is. So I rearranged this and spent all my money. Upgraded this road fully. Tax office rotated. These are kind of a bit more in line, which I like. And then you got this opposite it. So it's kind of like the old government district before, I don't know, industrialism brought in the railway kind of thing. And yeah, I'm kind of happy with it. Got some interesting trees here. Maybe this is a gift from a twin city on another part of the world, and a little park outside the offices. Yeah. But yeah, I have now spent all the money. I stopped looking at traffic for a while and went into a little bit of detailing. I changed the way this was laid out, put an extra road at the back. I broke it up to only the largest ploppable building thingies No, that's not right. Anyway, only the 4x4 tiles could exist. That should reduce the burden on people saying, hey, we need workers. I then added this little neighbourhood in here, you know, a couple of nice houses. I got the fence behind it. I did the same with the train track, trying to put this fence in, separate the two domains. A little bit of landscaping. Added in a clinic because that was needed, and I'm just looking at my elder care and childcare because those were sort of new compared to when I was playing this save last. And I think the best place for my elder care is right here by the crematorium and the cemetery, because it's a nice big chunk of empty land. You know, in one door, out the other. God, that was dark. So I've reorientated this a little bit. I wanted to separate this out. I lose a bit of tileable space, but I want to separate these. This could be more housing, this could be more commercial along here. Yeah, I just want to separate these uses out. Equally here, you know, do I want houses going straight onto the road? Maybe, maybe not. I'm still not quite sure what I feel about this road. It kind of feels a bit useless, superfluous. I don't know. It does seem to be in use though. So, yeah. Okay, so minor progress has been made on the traffic flow, which is slipping as I start talking. Classic. It was a high of 81 a minute ago, now it's dropped to go. Oh, it's up again. So I think I need to look at my public transport. And let's start with the trains, because we did a lot with them. Line 3. Oh my. So we are leaving a lot of passengers on the platform. I don't know why it was bugging out there, but okay, so we've got one train's worth, two trains worth, we'll add them up, that's 3 trains, and then another 3 trains, so let's, what is it doing? Why is it jumping? That's crazy. We're putting that at the maximum, we are sending out 8 trains. This is going to cause some congestion on the line. Okay, but what about the next train then? I think it's because I've got to push the talk button on. I think that's why sometimes the game bugs out. Okay, so 2 trains. And we're leaving a whole train's worth on the platform, so let's bump that up to 3 trains. Again, we've got 1 train, weirdly. We're leaving a whole 2 trains worth on the platform. Yep, nice. And then finally, we've got 1 train, which is actually just doing its job. Fine. So, that hopefully won't cause too much congestion. Obviously the main contention point is here. Do have the bypass station, but both trains should stop here. Neither train should just go through. Interesting. It looks like one is. So interestingly, train line 4 hasn't been stopping here on one direction. Yeah, cool. I was thinking I probably should have done this one as the 2 one, like I did here. I mean, I was trying to do the space saving, but yeah. Okay, heck. Oh, that's a whole load of rework to do, but I think I should have done that. No, it's alright actually. It's alright. Just about. Those are the same line actually. It's not conflicting with the other line. Okay, I think I'll leave it actually. Okay, 78. The other thing to look at would be whatever broken and or crazy bus routes I've got going on. Okay, seems like some doubling here. Oh god. So this has got quite a lot. That seems looping around. Some of these might have broken since I like made various changes. I'm not sure though. So this one is quite popular, whereas this one is just not. Yeah, I suppose because it doesn't really go anywhere. What's it doing? Who's it actually moving? Takes you to the zoo. Takes you there. These are pretty close together. Eliminate that stop. I could think about maybe sending it up around. Those are. Okay. I think that's okay though. And we're sending 4 buses. Let's just drop that in half. Let's do 2 buses on that line. We've got no one really waiting. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, now I've just got to go through and do that for all these buses. That's going to be fun. Well, I've done quite a few updates, and I've got up to, well, 81 to 85 is where it's kind of bouncing between. Let me go through some of the changes. You can kind of see some of the changes from the colours here. So I put a freight train stop here. Got a tunnel going through the mountain there, and this is just hectic. I need to think about something a bit smarter here. One of the problems is this isn't that long for all the vehicles. This isn't that long. You've got this and this. And they have to cross each other here, so I need to perhaps do a sort of a one-way system, oversized roundabout. You know, I've always been a bit annoyed, I think, with agriculture and in this game, and not in general, but in the game, and how much traffic it produces. I think this is a bit excessive. If you sort of look at the relative size of these, farms and whatnot, and how many tractors and trailers they produce, yeah, I don't know. It always felt a bit off to me. I've still got this one over here. Basically, it's just a bit of industrial in the mail now. I did something a little bit fancy with this kind of ramp down. Fairly smooth, fairly nice. I changed the sort of weird exchange I had to this sort of bus terminal, proper bus terminal. Possibly need to look at expanding sort of the usage there, the number of routes that go to it. I have an issue with not enough educated workers across the city, and weirdly not enough goods to sell. So my next project will be to sort of sort out this university area, which I'm thinking here, not using not using the campus DLC, but using just this and a few other assets. I've tried to squeeze in a bit more housing in some places, where the noise was a little bit lower, because of the game. Again, living in the sort of the suburbs of the city, I think the game overestimates the noise pollution in a lot of places, or the problems it causes. I mean, it's definitely a problem that isn't talked about enough, is noise pollution, especially caused by cars. But yeah, I don't know. I think the game gets it a little bit wrong at times with how much noise pollution certain things make and how much that actually affects people. Um, yeah, just try to add in a few other niceties, a little bit of decorating here and there, filling in the gaps where I could. I think it's better now. It's better than what it was. Um, the population's grown quite a bit. You know, I'm kind of cramming in houses here. Probably not the best place in the world to live along here. You know, got this great big um, double lane sort of motorway thing. I don't know why I left such a big gap there, and it blocks your lovely view of the farms and the ongoing fire and the river. Yeah, it's not the greatest thing I've built. I don't know why I put it so low, only to raise it up over here and drop it down again. Bizarre decision. But yeah, in terms of where I'd go next with this, I think over here, a large sort of kind of residential kind of town. Bring the collectors around the back here as sort of a loop, connecting to the two junctions. And sort of have a road meeting in the middle here. Probably one or two other bridge crossings. Kind of a self-contained community, but providing workers to the farms over here, as well as probably starting a little bit of fishing around here. I was thinking of a sort of a ferry service running up sort of the main river here. You know, going from the north to the south. It could be a thing. Finish the university off here, and then then I guess build another, again, kind of a new town, new settlement over here. What would these people be doing? Again, you've got quite a bit of sort of shallow water, so maybe there'd be some fishing. If I could, like, maybe I'll make this an island, have like a fishing loop around it. Maybe it's more timber, you know, harvesting over here. Maybe it's something completely new, like a new downtown entertainment district. Maybe this is where the airport would be. So yeah, it's moving forward a little bit. Updated the zoo as well. Got my rhinos now. I got the lions. And it's a moderate improvement. I should have definitely recorded more values before I started this, like land value, and but yeah, land value is still pretty low, and you can kind of see because of the things that make land value increase. You know, the parks, the amenities, and all that stuff, public services. It's hard to sort of retrofit into a lot of these places. I don't think we'd ever really see high land value here. Maybe maybe that's okay. Maybe this place isn't meant to be, you know, a high land value area. It's a sort of a working town, a industrial town in a certain regard, with its agriculture and its timber. Um, yeah, I think that's where I'll leave this. We will just okay. So the button I'm pressing stops that from happening, so we're not going to do that. But yeah, clearly got its problems. More fixes would needed, more hours needed. Um, but yeah, I think that's where we'll leave this one for now. A small improvement overall with its traffic flow. Oh, 84 there. Definitely a lot of wacky stuff still in here. A lot of fixes to be done. But yeah, that is a summary of Westwood, the hellhole I built and tried to fix and made some modest improvements to. Cheers for watching or something, I don't know.